What's good, YouTube? Hitman X. Make sure you hit that like, hit that sub, show your boy some love. So, as we know, free agency is on the way, and the Phoenix Suns, we on the clock. We on the clock, y'all. We ain't done making moves. I tried telling y'all boys. So, if you don't know, I think we got around $18 million if we renounce Dario Saric, Aaron Baines, and Cameron Payne, if I'm not mistaken. And I think Javon Carter too. We renounce all those contracts. We'll have a little bit over 18 million. I think like 18.5 or 18.7. So we'll have some money to move, to play with, to make some moves. Um, and I was looking at a few targets that I feel like the Phoenix Suns should go after. Um, that's really three of them that I have. And you looking at them: Fred VanVleet, Anthony Davis, Carmelo Anthony, championship in Phoenix. Yes, I said. nah, I'm bullshitting. But Fred VanVleet, he's one of them. I'm looking at Fred VanVleet if I'm the Phoenix Suns. I feel like he'll be a great backup to Chris Paul. Not really somebody who I would say, oh, he can learn from Chris Paul and become a floor general like Chris Paul. He possibly could, but I don't feel like that's his game. I feel like he's going to always be that spark plug. He should be better fitted off the bench, which is why I hope Toronto keeps him, because I like him in Toronto. But if he wants to leave and come to Phoenix, more power to you. I'm not going to, hey, listen, I'm not going to cry no tears about him coming there. Point blank, period. Because that makes us better. But I'll be definitely looking at Fred VanVleet. I doubt they'll go after him because I can see him getting paid more than $20 million. And for one, the Phoenix Suns don't have that to offer him. And for two, I'm not paying him no $20 million to come off the bench. Not behind no Chris Paul. Nah, it's not happening. Another player I was looking at, seeing how they're making their moves and how they're building their team and constructing their team, I look at a player like Avery Bradley. It's obvious at this point, they're trying to be, a top defensive team in the league. They're getting all these players, all these 3-and-D players, Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Javon Carter. They just drafted Jalen Smith, who I'm starting to grow fond of. I kind of like his game. I ain't gonna lie. The more and more I watch him, the more and more fond I am of his game and comfortable I am with that pick. So why not get a defensive player in free agency and bolster that defense up, that perimeter defense specifically, and get one of the best defenders in the league with Avery Bradley. And I feel like they can afford to get him because he got paid, $5 million last year. So $15 million wouldn't be a bad price tag for Avery Bradley. That might be an overpay. You could probably get him for cheaper, and you'll still have about $3 million to play with. So that's another player I'm looking at. Definitely need to be going after a guard regardless. We don't need any more bigs. I know a lot of people are saying Serge Ibaka. I wouldn't mind it. Don't get it wrong. You bolster that front court, but I feel like we're good on the front court. We can manage with a Dario Saric, Jalen Smith, DeAndre Ayton, Frank Kaminsky. We can manage with that and address the front court next year. We can deal with it. We have enough firepower to be okay with Frank Kaminsky and Dario Saric. So I'm not going too crazy as far as the front court. My last player I'm looking at, Joe Harris. I feel like we can also afford him for the $15 million price tag. My whole thing is I'll be uncomfortable paying $15 million to, a shooter coming off the bench. I just feel like for $15 million, you got to be able to, if you're going to come off the bench for $15 million, you got to be able to do it on both ends. Joe Harris, he's scrappy, don't get me wrong, but he's not an elite defender like Avery Bradley. And that's who I would lean towards more, especially seeing how you can get him for cheaper. And he has more veteran savvy. Plus, he's not a restricted free agent, so we don't have to worry about the Lakers matching him or the Brooklyn Nets matching him or whatever. So, but I wouldn't be mad at Joe Harris. We get Joe Harris, that just makes us a whole lot more deep. We won't have to rely on Devin Booker as much. We can afford to sit him down, have somebody in that can somewhat replicate his impact on the floor. Like I said, man, that would be a good move. That'd be a brilliant move from James Jones. Another sleeper pick I'm hearing a lot of people say, Danilo Gallinari. Listen, I don't see Danilo taking a pay cut because he can get paid more than $20 million on the market. But if he come to Phoenix and get a $15 million discount, more than likely he's going to start, and that means we're taking away from the development of Mikal Bridges, which I don't want to see. I want to see Mikal Bridges starting. So you bring in Danilo Gallinari, you're more likely going to start him and bring Mikal off the bench. I mean, we're deep. Don't get me wrong, we're still deep, but it just slows the process of developing Mikal Bridges, man. I believe in Mikal Bridges enough to say, you know what, let's start him. And Cam Johnson. Like, let's say you bring Danilo, you start him at the 4, you bring Mikal Bridges at the 3. That means you're bringing Cam off the bench. I want to develop Cam too, so I'll stick with the same bubble lineup minus Ricky Rubio and try to get somebody off the bench. Like I said, Avery Johnson would be perfect though, man. Did I say Avery Johnson? My bad. Avery Bradley. He'll be perfect off the bench. Avery Johnson would be a perfect assistant coach though. But Avery Bradley would be perfect off the bench for us. Hopefully, the Phoenix Suns are targeting a guard because, like I said, you never know with James Jones. He's a Zen master. He's the new Zen master. He played mind games, but he hasn't made a bad move yet. I have to give him that. So I trust the process. I trust the vision. I see where they're going. I see how they're trying to build this team, and I'm cool with it, man. I love it. You know, you ain't gonna never tell me building a team that's defensive oriented isn't a good move. Like, I'm always gonna lean towards that. So I'm cool with it, regardless of what they do. But Hitman X, that's all I got. Hit that comment section. Let me know how you feel about this one. I'm out of here.